So,
hold on. We need to introduce ourselves.
We just blew. That moment has passed.
It has not passed yet. Who are we?
We are running.
We covered this.
And then after that.
And I said, I'm a bunch of
weebs. We are proud of.
Why do you think we're here?
And we didn't.
Yes, we did.
I know we didn't.
No, we did. I swear we did. You're just drunk.
Let's go. All right. Anyways, back on topic. This is already derailing. So tonight we're presenting The Hunt for the Tuatha de Danaan, connections between Full Metal Panic and the literary works of Tom Clancy. Woo! So has anybody seen Full Metal Panic?
Can I raise my hand slightly up?
What?
Just go like that?
No. Okay, does anybody know who this Tom Clancy guy is?
He's the guy that keeps shoving out all those shooting games.
Actually, he licensed his name. We'll get to that.
So it is.
That too.
Yes.
So with the really long books, we also have a really long name for a submarine. Moving on.
So
this is a bad habit.
So who is this Tom Clancy guy? So he's a beloved author of various spy/military/political thrillers, best known for his Jack Ryan novels, which include The Hunt for Red October.
Full Metal Panic.
No. That's actually not him. He's especially known for his novels being set in the Cold War or near future, based on then current political realities, featuring real or near future technologies.
Like Full Metal Panic.
No. He would license his name to other authors within the same genre, and then he would actually create a game studio, which would lead to the creation of the Tom Clancy video game franchise, which includes Ghost Recon, Rainbow Six, The Division.
They just have to make sure to release a new version of it every year just to make sure to remember they're still alive.
The perfect storm. The red storm.
And a bunch of his books were also made into movies, including The Hunt for Red October, Patriot Games, and Some of Our Fears. So his works, as I stated before, are pretty realistic. But one thing I like about his works is they make you see all right, this is going to be an action film, but here are the political ramifications. Here's this and that. So just a taste. Here's a scene from Hunt for the Red October, where the main character, Jack Ryan, is being told, hey, you're going to go find a Russian submarine.
Listen, I'm a politician, which means I'm a cheat and a liar. And when I'm not kissing babies, I'm stealing their lollipops. But it also means that I keep my options open. So, let's assume for a minute that you're right, and this Russian intends to defect. What do you suggest we do about it?
We definitely grabbed the boat, sir.
Hey, wait a minute. We're not talking about some stray pilot with a MiG. We're talking about several $1 billion worth of Soviet state property. They're gonna want it back.
Maybe it's enough then just to get some people on board and inspect it. Call it whatever you want to, a Coast Guard safety inspection.
So how do we proceed?
Well, first we would need to contact the commanders in the Atlantic directly. The Russians get one whiff of this through the regular communication circuits, the game is up. Second, we need to figure out what can we do to help them. We need to devise a plan to intercede, ready to go at a moment's notice. And third, somebody's got to go out there and make contact with Ramius and find out what his intentions really are.
Okay, when do you leave?
Wait a minute.
And
the general was right.
so that pretty much shows how a lot of his films work. All right, here are the political ramifications of this. Here's how we're actually going to do it. Sometimes I can drag on a little bit, but it can also be interesting. In a lot of action series, you don't really see how decisions get made, how the sausage is made. I cut it off right there. At this point, one of the common themes is, especially in the Jack Ryan universe, is Jack Ryan is not a spy. He works for a spy agency. He's not an action hero. He's put in action hero situations because he just happens to be the right guy with the right knowledge.
Seems to happen an awful lot,
Yes.
though.
And a lot of times they'll be like, I can't go out there. I'm not field personnel. I'm just an analyst. Well, guess what? You're going to be dropping out of a helicopter.
Quick question, Shep. You think after the 5th time of him saying this, they'd stop complaining?
Eventually what happens is like, hey, we're going to make you, as your exit out of government service, you're going to be vice president. You're going to do nothing. Then the president dies and he becomes president.
Why am I not surprised?
So these movies and books have had an effect on our general culture. Has anybody watched a little TV series called Firefly?
What's that?
Cool.
That's about bugs, right?
So,
Get out.
get out. Anyways, so in
kill the smaller
Firefly, they
bugs.
actually refer to a maneuver from Hunt for Red October. And here's a clip of them pulling that off.
Kaylee, how would you feel about pulling a crazy Ivan?
They're on us.
Kaylee.
Okay.
Everybody hold on to something.
There's something you can't do.
So, in Hunt for Red October, it said that Soviet submarines will, when they exit, when they pull a maneuver, sometimes they'll take a hard left to see if there's an American attack sub right behind them. And if there's an American attack sub and they're not paying attention, the American sub will blow it and hit right into the Soviet sub.
It does not involve barrel rolls.
So you mean they fly like a leaf on the wind?
So what they did in Firefly is they make the same sort of turn to evade the Reavers.
And then ignite the atmosphere and pretty much blow them up.
So that's just a taste of Tom Clancy. So what about the other work we're comparing, contrasting? So the best way to kind of describe Full Metal Panic is actually shown in this clip. It has mechs. It has psychics. It's in a lot of ways it's very similar to Tom Clancy, but here's a scene I found that best gives a good feel for the characters. What? I believe this is from TSR. The second raid, yes, sir.
Useless. Why even bother? I can never get a hold of him at a time like this. I never know where he is or what he's doing, and don't even think about trying to reach his voicemail. Jeez, he should be more considerate. I'm the one trying to stay in touch with the idiot all the time. He picked up for me? Huh?
When you're that friend who doesn't get
No way! And then what? Hey, are you there, Sosuke?
Hillary, what's wrong?
The static is horrible. Where are you?
Kanakari.
Karate? What? Listen, we've already started taking the midterms. Did you forget?
I remember, but something unavoidable came up.
Don't give me that excuse. I even lent you my notes on classical literature. And after you pulled that stunt, I had to calm down Ms. Kagurazaka about her car.
Yes, I'm very sorry about that.
Yeah, well, sorry isn't gonna cut it. Do you know how much of a toll this takes on me?
I know.
No, you don't. Not one bit.
It's not
Are
like I
you
like you or
listening?
anything.
Of course I am. I'm going through!
What was that?
Nothing. I'm talking while I'm driving.
static.
You said you're talking and driving at the same time?
Affirmative.
That's dangerous! It's illegal to talk on the cell phone while you're driving. And do you even have a license? Just pull over and stop the car!
If I stop, I won't be able to take the makeup test, Shittery.
Huh?
Oh, hey, pretty lady.
Look, your grades are in serious trouble. So how come you keep cutting class?
No choice. I'm on a mission.
Yeah, but you can't tell the repeat a grade, everyone else will end up graduating before you do.
That would be a problem.
It'd be a problem for me.
What was that?
Oh, nothing.
I can't hear you. Say again.
Just one more.
Hey, why are you still wearing panties?
What? Who's that?
Ignore that. Now, what were you about to say?
Just forget it. It's like you're in your own world.
No, the surroundings are really noisy.
You know something, Sosuke? Sometimes I get the feeling you never take what I have to say seriously.
That's not true.
Whatever.
I do. I always take you seriously. You have my total attention.
What's going on? Hey, are you there? Sosuke? Sosuke!
Tunnel.
Hey, I want to play! The situation is secure. So what did you want to talk about?
Never mind.
What?
Just get back to school as quickly as you can, okay?
Okay.
Dork. So what's wrong, huh?
AS at 8 o'clock!
This isn't good.
Yeah, no kidding. Floor it, Sosuke! Roger!
I feel like life or death situations should trump some school situations, but you know, girls.
Strip out the mechs, strip out the psychics. That's Full Metal Panic in a nutshell. So what exactly is this? So it's a light novel series turned into an anime. It follows former child soldier turned mech pilot and counterinsurgency operative Sosuke Sagara as he protects and falls in love with Kanami Chidori, a high school girl with a strange power. The author, Soji Gato, described it as having a theme of boy meets girl. So best way to put it is Full Metal Panic is one part high school rom-com, one part Cold War sci-fi thriller, and one part Gundam Wing.
Except the main hero actually has a personality.
Yeah. Hiro Yuri goes to high school and is a bodyguard to his psychic girlfriend and grows a personality.
So a step above the hero of Gundam Wing.
Yeah. So the anime has 3 seasons right now. The original, which is a mix of action and rom-com. FMP from Ofu, which has all the comedy side stories from the light novels, and is similar to School Rumble. And then the second raid, which is more serious but still has some lighthearted moments. So these two seem awfully different. What do they have to do with each other?
They both have guns?
So, just an example, in Hunt for Red October, you have an American sub chasing a Typhoon-class sub. They lose, as they're tracking it, they lose contact with it. They send the main character to try for a mission involving that Russian sub. He has to jump out of a perfectly good aircraft, and he gets into a gunfight on that Russian sub. In Full Metal Panic, we have a American attack sub chasing an ex-Soviet Typhoon-class sub. They lose track of the sub. The main character is sent on a mission involving that submarine. He jumps out of a perfectly good aircraft as part of that mission, and then he gets into a mech battle on that submarine.
So literally the same thing.
Pretty much. Yes, sir?
That would be amazing. We'd have Red October standing by.
One ping only.
I'm not Spaniard, I'm Egyptian.
Well, I'm actually going to talk about Sean Connery here in a couple minutes. So,
does it involve Alex Trebek?
Suck it, Trebek. So, first of all, they've got some similar themes, including realistic tech and weapons. Even
mechs are realistic.
Totally,
dude. Even made-up weapons in Tom Clancy have real-world basis. When he wrote Hunt for Red October, Clancy was actually interviewed by the FBI for how much he got right. He didn't know any. He made logical guesses after touring World War II subs, but he got things so right that it scared the FBI.
Mr. Clancy, we'd like to have a word with you.
Clancy even had a gun range installed in his penthouse apartment in Baltimore, one of the most anti-gun cities in America. Yes, sir? Like 0? Yeah.
He did a pretty good job with it, too.
Like, he even dangerously predicted 9/11. But anyways, he even built a gun range in his penthouse apartment in Baltimore, so he could test some of the guns that he was going to include in some of his books. Meanwhile, FMP sticks hard to what's called the real robot genre, and it also includes IRL weapons and technologies that, in conjunction with this fictional tech, makes humanoid mecha possible in the setting. And then it lampshades hard that this tech shouldn't exist.
You mean like arming gangsters with mascots?
That's Famofu.
I know, but still.
One of the at one point, so there's a certain device in Sosuke's mech, because he has to have a hero mech. There's a certain device in it that he has trouble activating because he refuses to believe that it should exist. Because it just doesn't make sense to like his logical mind.
It's against the laws of nature.
So yeah, here's actually a screenshot of an article of like when Clancy was getting the permits to build the gun range. And then in Famofu, even when they're making jokes, they bring in this realism.
You let him go home just like that, huh?
Well, yeah.
How pathetic.
Misakutsu, that guy's got a gun. Come on, there ain't no way we can win against him.
Yeah, right. It's probably nothing but a toy.
Huh? What are you talking about, huh? It's a real gun! It's Austrian-made, the Steyr SPP, 9mm caliber, holds 30 rounds, fires 900 rounds per minute. It's a machine pistol developed for security. Its reinforced polymer frame is extremely light. Plus, it has superior control in full auto mode, so you can... Oh!
Great fun for the whole
Enough
family.
of your lame brain
yeah.
trivia.
Yes, ma'am.
So, pretty much, Famofu is kind of fun because even when they're doing like ridiculousness, at one point Sosuke's just pulling guns out of his pockets like it's hammer space, including an AT-4. But if you look, those are actually all real weapons.
Just a little bit.
So, another common theme between them is the Cold War. Many of Clancy's most famous works take place in the Cold War or the immediate aftermath, since they were written in the 80s and 90s. Fullmetal Panic, meanwhile, despite being set in the 2000s, has the Cold War is ongoing with a combination of black technology that doesn't exist, that allows things like weapons to exist, allowing the Soviets to reinvigorate their economy in conjunction with the Soviets assassinating Gorbachev. So because Gorbachev's assassinated in FMP, you don't get glasnost, you don't get perestroika. The hardliners regain control of the military, and then they get their economy going again.
What?
Yes, there's actually a little bit of basis.
No, I just don't understand history.
History just kind of goes over his head.
So does anybody
Sounds
not
good.
know what perestroika is?
Probably a lot of people.
Yes.
Okay. Perestroika was an initiative by Gorbachev to allow allow private transactions between individuals and actually allow private businesses to operate. Meanwhile, glasnost was they pulled back some of the like you could actually speak out against the state and express your opinion.
And not go to a gulag.
Gulag sounds yummy.
Right.
So
yes. So another common theme is terrorism and the need for counterterrorism units. Even before 9/11, terrorism was a major concern for NATO-aligned nations. NATO-aligned meaning like countries that have signed the North Atlantic Treaty. The US, Canada, Great Britain, most of the European Union. The Rainbow Six video game franchise is actually spawned from a Jack Ryan novel, Rainbow Six, where NATO forms a unit to go after various terrorist organizations popping up after the fall of the Soviet Union. Executive Orders, meanwhile, features both lone wolf and state-sponsored terror attacks against both hard and soft targets. In a way, it kind of predicted 9/11. Executive Orders starts with a airplane crashing into the Capitol, and that's how Jack Ryan becomes president in that novel. They pretty much think that the plane that crashed in Somerset, Pennsylvania, was either heading for the White House or the Capitol. Sosuke is actually, meanwhile, is actually former Afghanistan Mujahideen child soldier before being rescued and deprogrammed by his KGB mentor Kalinin, who they both fight for the Rainbow-inspired Mithril organization. Yet another common theme is nuclear and weapon of mass destruction proliferation. Mithril originally was, the organization Sosuke works for was originally founded as a black ops unit dedicated to stop nukes from falling into the hands of like North Korea. And that role later expanded into developing black technology for NATO and keeping black technology out of the hands of terrorists and rogue states. And also counterterrorism. Tom Clancy works often portray these weapons of mass destruction as evil, but a necessary evil, and often deal with the repercussions of when things go wrong. An example of one of these works is The Sum of All Fears. It features a terrorist attack on the Super Bowl, leading to the U.S. and Russia destroying their nuclear missile stockpile. They still have bomber-carried nuclear bombs because they need that deterrent. But it's a necessary evil, but they made it harder for like someone to start a nuclear war.
So it took terrorism messing with football
and Max
to take care of things.
Yes.
That's pure American right there.
It's not. An example of a non-nuclear weapon of mass destruction in Tom Clancy works in Executive Orders. Iran weaponizes Ebola and then just sets it off in population centers. And when the U.S. finds out about it and tells Iran's allies, hey, they used the weapons of mass destruction against us, we have a deterrent. We will use that deterrent if the conventional war does not go well, and if you continue to be against us in fighting Iran, we're going to use that deterrent against you as well.
In the form of giant robots.
Then in The Bear and the Dragon, Chinese Politburo member tries to launch an ICBM strike against the U.S. and Russia because they want Russian gold and oil. So, another thing, a lot of the characters in Full Metal Panic are inspired by Tom Clancy characters. Probably the clearest example is Kalinin. He's a mix of Tom Clancy's John Clark and Marco Ramius, because he's a Soviet defector like Ramius. But like John Clark, he's a former Special Forces turned spy. He even looks like, why am I blanking on the actors? Sean Connery, yes.
How
He
dare
even
you
looks like
forget
Sean
his
Connery.
name?
He doesn't sound like Sean Connery, but he looks like Sean Connery.
And that's a shame right there. They can only go half-ass on it. Very much.
Someone out there needs to do an abridged series where they just do a Sean Connery impression.
I would like to hear Sean Connery trying to do all the lines in Japanese.
What are these squiggles that I'm supposed to read? Just randomly some guy. I'm not Spanish, I'm Egyptian. Despite having a Scottish accent.
Meanwhile, Sosuke is a mix of John Clark's protege Ding Chavez, but also Jack Ryan in reverse. Ding Chavez being the main protagonist of the Rainbow Six games. Like Ding, he has a rough background, is taken under his senpai's wing early. He was rescued by his senpai when a mission goes bad.
Was he noticed?
and then becomes an effective counterterrorism operative. Like Jack Ryan, Sosuke is thrown into situations way out of his comfort zone. However, while Jack Ryan is an analyst, bureaucrat, or a bystander who just finds himself in action hero heroics, Sosuke is someone who has no idea how to live life outside the military. And he's forced to acclimate to civilian Japanese society as part of his mission.
Oh, someone put a love letter in my locker. That's suspicious. I'm going to blow it up.
Not the letter, the locker.
No, the locker. The entire, and actually took out about 5 other lockers, some other stuff.
Yeah, the student council president backed him on that too.
That's the sad part.
In what they were talking about is in one of the episodes of Fumofu, it starts out Kaname, who it's actually kind of funny. A lot of people find Chidori to be too soon for a tsundere, just constantly soon, but that's because she's American. So she's walking to school, talking to her friend about how she stayed up all night watching an American action movie and had all these explosions, and then you hear a bomb go off in the shoe locker room. Turns out, Sosuke found out someone screwed with his locker. He assumed it was a letter bomb. And when he's getting yelled at for setting off an explosion, the student council president says, oh, he has perfectly good logic. Someone could be trying to kill him. He's obviously here to protect someone, and it could be trying to get to you.
And she doesn't take that too well.
No.
And then catches him almost doing it again later at the end.
So here's one of those. This is actually from the beginning of the first season of Full Metal Panic.
What's all this stuff?
Things that Japanese high school students are likely to have. I collected them from all over the submarine.
Is that so? Then what's this?
A condom, of course.
I'm aware it's a condom, but I can't figure out what possible use could be to high school students.
Stop turning your head. Come on, Sosuke, let's see a smile.
Oh, please, don't you even try to play innocent, you dirty old man.
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, sure, I've used it a couple of times.
Whoa!
I was on mission deep in the jungle when I lost everything. Everything but this. You know they can hold a liter of water, right?
Now say Mithril.
Yes.
Can't understand life outside the military at all.
That pain of a smile.
Extremely clueless, but it's okay. Kaname is clueless too.
I think just almost everybody in this show is clueless.
I wouldn't say that.
Except for the student council president.
There's some people who have a clue.
Not from what I've seen.
Anyways, so these franchises are old. Why care?
Because they keep shelling out games that I see online.
Well, you keep seeing Tom Clancy stomped on all these different video game series. In addition, Amazon's releasing a new Jack Ryan series in 2018.
Didn't they just get done with another movie?
They did a Jack Ryan movie a couple years ago, and it stunk.
That's what I thought.
It stunk.
Wait, wasn't it with
Chris Pine?
Yes.
Captain Kirk was Jack Ryan, and I couldn't accept him as Jack Ryan. And even worse was I couldn't accept Keira Knightley as Kathy Ryan.
Thor should be ashamed of his son.
I'm a star captain, not a spy.
Yeah, it was Keira Knightley, and it's like,
There's no
I like you, Keira Knightley, you're screwing this up.
There are no green aliens for me to sleep with. What the heck?
In addition, Full Metal Panic is finally getting a 4th season in April. I don't know the exact date, but I was just checking on dates to see if they were updated just an hour ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And I saw like, hey, this is coming out in April. I was like, okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah, hopefully spring.
Coming spring 2018.
Until they delay it until winter, and then till 2019.
Or it comes up right before.
Or what happens is the last time they hinted a 4th season of Full Metal Panic, it's free again.
It'll be like a race between Kingdom Hearts and Full Metal Panic.
Don't do that to me. Do not say that. No.
I feel your pain, for
It will come out a week before we do this panel again and have to binge watch it to update it. Hey, I had to do that with Fate Apocrypha.
Right. So, just to give you, unlike before, we do actually have a trailers of both of these, so we know that there actually are things in production. Oh, and recap movies. So first, here's this is the Jack Ryan series that's going to be on Amazon.
So what do you do?
State Department. I run supply chain logistics for the Western Hemisphere.
That sounds
boring?
Come, your masters of war. Here to build the big guns.
James Greer, Jack Ryan.
The individual behind these transactions could be a high-level target. Don't you think people would have loved this opportunity 20 years ago? The first time they heard the name Bin Laden?
Holy shit.
I can't go to Yemen. I'm an analyst. I don't interrogate people, I write reports.
Get on the fucking plane.
You that never done nothing. But built to destroy. You play with my world. Like your little toy. Come, your masters of war.
One of the things I really like about what we've seen of this series so far, it's not out yet. We've just seen trailers, but it's back to Jack Ryan's actually an analyst. He's one of the things I hated about the last movie that came out was he's a field operative. He's a field operative. It's like, no, that's not Jack Ryan. He finds himself in danger. He didn't sign up for it. Then here's the new season of Full Metal Panic that's coming out, Invisible Victory. So we ran, usually we build these for 45 minutes to let the next group come in, but we're way early. So we're actually going to ask a trivia question, then we're going to open up to questions. So the ship in the show, the ship in both Full Metal Panic and in Hunt for Red October is a Soviet, it's a Soviet missile sub. Does anybody know the class of sub that both of these ships are? You, sir, had your hand up first. I did.
You get a little prize with the horrible. There you go.
All right. So
nice catch. Nice catch.
We're gonna go ahead and open it up to questions now. All right.
And it died.
So anybody have any questions
or discussion? Go ahead, sir.
Yes. Et cetera, et cetera. And this is actually a thing that's still going on. The Soviets sold arms to everybody if it would piss off the United States. And the U.S. did the same thing. They showed arms to anybody who would piss off the Soviets.
Oh, they don't like you? Here, have some.
So in Africa, one of the slang terms for like a young boy is Kalash, from Kalashnikov. Because a lot of times they're picking up a Kalashnikov rifle to go prove themselves. What did you say? I go with Tuatha because that's what I read in the that's what it actually says in the visual novels. I'm not the visual, not visual light novels. Excuse me, I've been playing too many visual. There's a big difference.
Same difference.
So that's what it says in the light novels. So
been playing too much Fate.
Yes. Any other questions?
Any others?
Which one?
Yeah. Yeah. Who's I'm not exact. I know it's not Kyoto for who is it for? Does anybody know who it is for the Invisible Victory?
You're supposed to be the.
Yeah, you're the expert here. Jeez.
But I just know it's
Shame.
not. I just know it's not Kyoto Animation, which in some way makes me sad because I'm a huge KyoAni fan. It also makes me happy because it seemed like they were saying, oh, we're working on getting a 4th Full Metal Panic season, and then Kyoto Animation said, all right, we have a new project coming out, and that project turned out to be free, and I threw my computer out the window.
I only swim free.
Okay.
Okay. But do they only swim free? All right.
At least they didn't do any endless 8 crap.
Good point. Any others?
Any others? Questions, comments?
I guess we're wrapping up a tiny bit early.
Way early.
About 8 minutes.
Alrighty. So I hope you, if you're an anime fan who's seen Full Metal Panic, I hope you check out some of the works of Tom Clancy. If vice versa, if you're familiar with the novels or some of the games or movies based on Tom Clancy's work, I hope you check out Full Metal Panic. Red Storm Rising is actually really good. Funny thing. Speaking of Red Storm Studios, which is named after Red Storm Rising. So I was playing Star Trek Bridge Crew, and I noticed it was done by Red Storm Studios, which was actually founded by Tom Clancy. And as I'm playing, it's like, this is a great Star Trek game. This is everything I wanted from such a thing, but it feels like a realistic simulator. And I'm like, is this like a game Red Storm had on the shelf and then Ubisoft bought a Star Trek license?
Wait, Ubisoft did something good?
They've been known to do good things.
I know, I'm being an ass.
Assassin's Creed 3 is one of my favorite games ever.
I know.
It's just like Unity and...
The China one where it's literally a side scroller, and I hated it.
All right.
And we're getting off topic.
Anything else? Yeah.
If you really want to get into Tom Clancy, get a job as an analyst, and then be thrown into all these crazy situations.
There you go. You will live the life.
Dale Brown. I'm actually not sure who that is. Oh. I'm not familiar with Dale Brown, so. Okay.
Because of course he does.
Alrighty, anybody else? Alrighty, I guess.
Well, thank you guys for coming in.
Thanks for coming out, guys. Oh, by the way, we have, well, I'm a klutz. We have cards. We don't have any other panels here at MAGFest, but actually next week, if you're going Carolina way at Ichiban Con, we have a couple of panels. And then we'll be at another con here soon.
Woo! When it warms up, I will take off my pants.
There's not ice on the Potomac. You see me in a kilt every day.
You can't know unless you come. You have to come to that panel to find out.
You have no excuse.
Also, I need a new kilt. I need a new kilt. Badly. All right, have a great MAGFest, guys. Have fun, stay safe, game hard.
I can tell you who isn't winning the Stanley Cup this year.
I was trying not to say that.